Hi, my name is Jason Van Sickle. Earlier this year, I gave away everything that I owned, moved into my Prius, and headed to Silicon Valley. It was time to make a change. It was time to take control of my life and finally pursue my dreams. I created this YouTube channel to document my new journey. So let's back up for a moment and talk about how I ended up living in my car in Silicon Valley. I had spent most of adulthood in my small Midwest hometown of Wichita, Kansas. I had lived there for 45 years, raising two kids as a single parent and working hard to make ends meet. But, like most people, I felt I had been living to work, figuring out what others needed me to do so I could earn enough money to pay my bills and, hopefully, someday pursue my dreams. But what did that really mean anymore? Pursue my dreams. Did I even have dreams? Honestly, there hadn't been time for such things as an adult. Somewhere along the way, I had quit dreaming, a consequence of life, lost in the rat race, crushed by the daily grind. Now, don't get me wrong, I am very thankful for the life that I have lived. I might have less money than debt, but compared to most, my life has been good. In fact, I had won the lottery, at least the lottery of life. I grew up in a good family in the wealthiest nation in human history at a time of relative peace and prosperity. However, I still felt a void, a hollowness deep inside. Like most people, life had not turned out like I had hoped, so I found myself asking, is this it? Was being on autopilot, mindlessly marching through life, the best that I could hope for now? Or was there some other way? Was there a way to break free, to return to that fearless determination that had disappeared during youth? I decided that this could not be how my story ended. I had to find a path back to my hopes and dreams. I had to at least try to reignite the few embers of passion that simmered deep in my soul. I needed a new beginning. It was time to redefine my life. I thought back on the things that had once excited me, back when I was full of ambition and hopelessly naive, back when I thought that maybe I could change the world. I had once dreamed about making the world a better place, creating something, doing something, being someone that made a difference. Well, maybe I had just read too many Superman and Spider Man comics as a kid. Or maybe those dreams weren't so childish. The world definitely had many problems to solve, and wasn't that the essence of those dreams? To solve problems, to create positive change. Yes, that was it. That was what I wanted to do in life, to create change, to leave this world better than when I arrived. So, how does someone do that? What are the tools? I definitely can't become some sort of superhero with supernatural powers. I thought again about what had excited me when I was young, and I remembered the early 80s. It was a time of hope because technology was creating new and wondrous things. My mom had bought a first generation IBM PC for a business that she started. It did little more than run Windows version 1, but it was magical. I spent hours reading through the several hardback volumes that came with the computer. They explained how to install DOS, which was needed to install Windows. And there was the DOS prompt. a blinking line on the screen that appeared when the computer was started and waited for your command. I remember thinking this must be the beginning of a new era of humanity, an era where technology would change the world and usher in a bright and brilliant future, a future as bright as that glowing green command prompt on the screen, just sitting there, waiting to see what I would create. The idea of promising technologies changing the world stuck with me throughout the years. While in college, the World Wide Web had just begun to gain popularity. So, I learned how to write code, created my first website, and began selling computers and upgrades. I also taught myself how to install computer parts and eventually build computers. Through my little home business, I sold things online. But I also had a young child with another on the way. So, ultimately, entrepreneurial dreams gave way to reality. I eventually had to find a more practical Midwest career path, which I found in real estate. I did focus on research and analysis so I could use computers to innovate in some way as I became a business and community leader. However, there was never any sense of passion in what I did. Fast forward to a couple of years ago. My kids had grown and moved out, so I decided to pack up and move to the closest big city, Denver, Colorado. I was ready to search for a new opportunity, but that search was interrupted by COVID. For over a year, I remained healthy, but in self isolation and a lot of self reflection. During that time, I began to ask myself, what did I really want to do with my life? My thoughts went back to that passion that I felt for technology and the hope that it could create change. The belief that there was a driving force behind transformative things like science and technology, a force that we, simple human beings, could unleash, a force called innovation. So, here I am, living in my car in Silicon Valley, trying to learn how to become a socially responsible tech entrepreneur. It is a pretty surreal experience after living a fairly conventional life. However, I am motivated again, and I have begun to feel the stirring of that passion that used to power my soul. I may not know where this journey is going to lead, but I know that I am where I need to be. And this story, this new chapter in life, is just the beginning.